All right.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Stacy Erickson. I am a professional organizer, and I'm the owner of Home Key Organization and Home Key Organized Social Media, which is my own social media company, where I do updates for small business owners, mostly in the Seattle area, but I have clients all over the country. I am here today with Erica Duran of Erica Duran International, who is a contact of mine and actually my business coach, which is really cool, and the key to all my wild success in the past couple of years. So,
Stop.
so thank you so much for being here. I think I've been interviewed by you before, but
Uh,
I've never gotten to interview you, so this is very exciting. So actually, I was going to introduce you, but can you actually tell me a little
Where
bit
I do
about
updates
yourself?
for small business owners, mostly in the Seattle area, but I have
I'm
clients.
getting an echo now, sorry.
Me too. That's weird. Oh well. Okay.
You had two windows open. Okay.
Okay, cool. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your business? Because I know it's kind of evolved over time, right?
Yeah, so I was a professional organizer just like you for about 15 years or so, and then I um, realized that I had to pretty much stay in one place with that kind of business, or so I thought. You'd have to actually go into people's homes or offices and build a network of people in your local area. And I didn't really want that. I wanted to be able to travel and do other things. So I kind of took my business online. And now I do online business coaching, SEO, website design, social media training, and just taking people from their brick and mortar businesses and lives and getting them more online.
That's so cool. So part of the reason we're doing this today is because right now I have, gosh, 35 social media clients, if you can believe that. Remember 2.5 years ago when I had no clients? That was so funny. So, come a really long way. I feel a lot of times people don't really understand social media, or they get really frustrated with it because they think, well, I've been paying you to do this and you've been doing my updates. Why isn't anything happening? It's been a month. Why isn't anything happening? It's been 2 months. Why isn't anything happening? And I think with anything in business, I know that it's something that you have to do really consistently, and it takes time. What I tell a lot of people is I say, when you started your business, you didn't do it for a month and have a full clientele right away, right? It just doesn't work that way. So it's kind of like that in starting up a business. So I'm wanting to talk to you because I know you've been really successful. In fact, we met on LinkedIn, which I think is so funny. And I'm wondering that, and the other thing I like to mention is that in 2012, you were one of the top 5 most viewed profiles on LinkedIn. That was 2012, right?
Right.
Which is
Right.
awesome. And that was of all time. That wasn't just women, right? That was
Yeah, that was all the profiles. Yeah.
yeah, good. Because that's huge. So, how long after you started updating, and I know you update really systematically, kind of what you've taught me to do by using a lot of a lot of scheduling software. How long was it taking you to start seeing results? Like, and what was kind of the first result you saw as you put in an effort? Like, what's the first thing that came to you and you were like, oh, this is working. This is really cool. Maybe I should do this.
Well, actually, I didn't use social media when it started to be gaining popularity. I didn't use it for a long time because I'm a time management expert, and I just saw it as the biggest waste of time on earth was to be sitting there with Twitter or whatever. So I was really late in coming to social media. But then when I wanted the freedom of not only just marketing to my local market, but to be able to grow the business internationally instead of just my local market, or being able to travel and still work full time, that social media, I kind of had to cut the apron strings of just working locally and get online. And today I tell my clients that if you don't have a social media presence, a lot of people might even think you're kind of a shady kind of business or not real. I mean, it's kind of like a standard you have to have now. Like in years gone by, you had to have a yellow page ad, and people thought skeptical of your business if you didn't have a yellow page ad back then. So now social media is really taken off, and really is a metric that people use to check you out before they do business with you in a lot of ways. So I even am getting asked to resorts like the Hilton Waikoloa Village through social media. That relationship started through social media, and the relationship with you and so many other clients, about 80% of my business now is on social media. I think that it is totally true. It's what you put into it that you'll get out of it. So if you aren't really putting in the effort or the time or the care, and it doesn't really take that much time at all. It's actually to have a strategy of, you know, for example, going after a certain niche online, or having a systematic way of having your post consistent throughout the day by using software. So in a lot of ways, it's just mirroring what's going on in business as normal, business as usual in real life. It's just online. I think online you have to work even a little bit harder because you don't have that in-person connection, instant know, like, and trust factor. So it takes a little bit longer. Even if you're really good at social media, it takes a little bit longer than going to a networking group in person.
Definitely. Yeah, and when you were first, what was the first the most exciting thing that happened when you were like, okay, this is working? Was there like one moment? I know for me, one of my favorite stories is I'm speaking at the King County Public Library System this quarter, and I've had 4 gigs, and they're paying me, which is very, very nice, and it's, you know, it's a really big deal for me. And one of the things is the woman who got a hold of me, really nice lady, Deborah, her name was. She went to my website, she found me, and emailed me, hey, we'd like to have you speak if you want to apply. You know, that'd be good. I said, okay. Then I went on my Pinterest page, and Deborah had, and I know it was her because it was her name, had repinned like 25 of my pins and started following all these boards with me. So while Pinterest wasn't directly what got me the job, it was interesting how she checked me out, and then she went to my Pinterest and checked me out. And I feel like she felt like she knew me just that much better by seeing what I was interested in and what I liked and what I was putting out and almost like curating. It kind of showed my style. So that was a big one for me when that happened. I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of the idea. It's not just social media, right? Social media is a piece of the pie. But
Right.
This, I think, really helped me get this awesome speaking gig. So
yeah, I think it totally showcase your talents or your interest and help her increase the know, like, and trust factor for you. I guess the very first time, and it's probably not a good example because it's not exactly social media, but I kind of think it's along those lines. The first time I was really like blown away or like, whoa, what's going on, was when people would come up to me in in-person networking groups and say things to me that they read about in my really long bio that's on my website. I have a really long
I remember. I know that bio.
People started coming up to me and mentioning things in that, and I'm like, you read that? So it's not exactly social media, but that's probably the first time.
Yeah.
That happened.
It's the online presence. I had that happen to me too one time. I had a trade show and this girl comes up and she's like, I was here because I follow your Facebook page and I really like what you have to say. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay. So
getting the clients and the hotel deals and stuff like that. Like when I got the letter from Hilton Waikoloa, I saw it come through my email and I shut my computer down because I thought it was thanks but no thanks. But they actually said yes, so that was a really great thing to do, and that was Twitter.
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting about Twitter too is a lot of local businesses, if they're just going local, I'm like, well, you know, if you don't want to do Twitter, it's not the end of the world. But for businesses like ours where we're trying to get recognized and we're wanting to travel and speak, Twitter is one of the biggest platforms, I feel like. When you speak, do you ever have people ask you, like, if you apply to something or how many Twitter followers you have, or do you think that affects their decision sometimes?
They ask. I'm getting an echo. Sorry.
Okay.
Getting an echo?
No.
Certain applications even now have how many Twitter followers and Facebook likes and how many site visits to your website in general on applications for media. for writing or speaking in some kind of platform or magazines. They check you out on social media. Yeah, they do check in some affiliate programs as well. So if you want to be an affiliate for, say, Audible.com, the audiobooks, it's right on the application how many followers do you have.
Sorry, I think there's some kind of switching now. Let me do this a little. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, that's something that I try to point out to a lot of different people because they're like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to speak, or I want this big presence in the media, and you can't really do it without doing social media. I mean, it's just not, I don't really think it's possible anymore. So it's definitely something that people have to think a little bit harder about if they really want to make it in whatever sense that is. You have to just put in the time, and it does take a bit. So
thing going on now too is if you're trying to get a book published traditionally, they won't even look at you unless you have like 5,000 Facebook followers at minimum. That's what I hear a lot of my colleagues going through. Like, they can't get their book in the front door without their platform set up.
Wow, that's pretty huge though. I mean, I think a lot of people, especially people who might be older, right, than I am, older than you are still really resistant to it. But it's something that's very important, obviously. So, so can you tell me, and I know we met through LinkedIn, and I became your client pretty much right away, which was amazing. Can you tell me how directly you get clients through social media such as LinkedIn? I know with that one, what happened is, what I really liked is I said, okay, I was like, okay, I need a business coach. Does anyone want to coach me? And like 3 people responded, but you were really quick, and then you had a whole process set up. So the process was, I went to your website, and then I entered my information, and then you called me right away, and you were just on it, and it was so cool. So the first question I have is how directly do you get these clients through social media? And then the second part of it is, do you feel like usually you have to have like a number of, like, you know, how people call it, like the touches? You have to touch people 7 times before they sign up with you? Or do you find that people kind of follow your free content for a long time before buying from you? Or is there any pattern with that? It's like 3 questions, sorry.
I haven't really noticed a pattern. I think it's just if you're in front of them at the right time when they need help. So that goes to show you have to always be looking for people that need the help. To be consistent, just like in in-person networking. I think definitely it's so overwhelming with all the profiles and groups and everything out there that it's easier to find people online for clients is if you have your niche set. So, for example, you were perfect because I was a former professional organizer, so I'm like, well, I'm going to go coach, you know, new professional organizers. So if you have, because everything's so overwhelming, if you have a niche like that, it's a little bit easier online than even in person because they're all concentrated in, let's say, the LinkedIn Certified Professional Organizer group or NAPO or one of those groups that we were in. Everyone's concentrated in that group and they're easier to reach. But I haven't really noticed a pattern of, you know, someone just finding me on Facebook and then signing up right away. Sometimes they sign up for the newsletter and it takes a couple of weeks. Sometimes they sign up for like a free call and it goes from there. So sometimes they'll just comment and like things for years and never. So.
Yeah, I know. I was quick. I was like ready to get started. I remember I was on it. I was like, this is so cool. I know. It's crazy. So,
I answer all those questions.
So the last question I have is about social media. Obviously, is really important because we both do a lot, but it is not and should not be your entire marketing strategy. This is another thing I get with clients a lot. They think, well, you're going to do my social media, and then I'm going to get all these clients, and then I'm going to make $1 million. And I'm like, oh, sorry, it doesn't work that way. I'm not that skilled at it. You know, it's not how it works. And I've noticed all the answers that you've given, they have to do with finding a niche. right? They have to do with speaking, with attending in-person networking events. So and I think the way that we connected on LinkedIn kind of really speaks to that. It's not that just that you were on LinkedIn. It was that you had a cool website, and you had a form backing it up, and you had everything just kind of webbed together to create this perfect path for me to get a hold of you. So what would you say really helps support your social media presence to kind of make the whole cycle, or you call it the marketing pie? What helps complete the marketing pie for you? Like, where do you focus your efforts, and how does social media fit into those other efforts?
Right. So it's just a piece of the marketing pie, so to speak. Back in the day, we might have, if we didn't have social media, we might have did direct mail or postcards or flyers or something like that. You know, post it to the wall back then, and you know, you even did some of this too, posting, you know, flyers in coffee shops and things like that.
So Seattle.
Yeah. Now we just have a different wall to post to, but the strategies behind marketing haven't really changed. It's just the tools we use now are changed. So it's still your consistent effort of like you going to those coffee shops and putting flyers up every week. I mean, it didn't happen overnight. If you post something on a Facebook wall, it's not going to happen overnight. Of course, there's strategies to get things done faster, but again, it's not magic. It's trying to, you know, with back as the example with direct mail, that only converted at 1 or 2% if we were really lucky. So if you think of, we have so much more reach out there now to people. We don't have to buy addresses and spend money on stationery and stamps and everything like that. But it's still the consistent effort and just going in. I think just going into the social media with a attitude of helping people rather than what am I going to get out of it helps a lot too, because I think they can feel it in your posts and your energy of how you felt when are you just sharing this, or are you like buy. So they used to call that interruption marketing, where it was always like, buy now, buy this, get it today, like those kind of harsh, more masculine ways of marketing. And now with all the social media, it's more of a feminine, inviting, sharing, things like that. So yeah, it's just, I work with SEO too, and there's just no magic, you know, shortcuts. It's just the putting in the work and building the relationships. It's like when you go to the networking groups, you don't run up to people and get in their face and say, you want to buy this right now? Well, some people in multi-level marketing do, but not the other businesses.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and it is really interesting. And the example I really like to use with that is just think of social, it's part of your business, but again, it's like when you started your business, you didn't do one thing and then get a flood of clients, right? It takes, like, you start your business and you do all the things to set it up, and then you kind of just wait. And you're going out there and waiting for things to happen, and then they happen naturally as a result of your consistent efforts. I'm in a professional organizers group on Facebook, and everyone's like, how do I get more clients? I really need more clients now. How do I get more clients? And almost every post people say, try this, this, this. Every post I say, yeah, you know, it really just takes time. I'm like, that's probably not what you want to hear right now. But it takes time of being consistent, and you will get there. But it's not do this and then you'll get that, and that'll be it, and you're fine and can pay all your bills. So.
Right. Well, it's just the other side. If you do nothing, you're going to get nothing. So if you do a little bit, you're going to get a little bit. If you do more, you'll probably get more. So, and then not wasting time with it, but being strategic on who you're going after and what groups you join, and even having a system of every Thursday is, you know, LinkedIn day, and every Friday is Facebook fan page Friday day or whatever. So at least once a week you have a system or time blocked out, or a routine or a habit that is supporting this marketing effort, because it's not like other methods where you are cold calling or sending mail or email marketing. It's a little bit different. So
Definitely. Yeah. Cool. So I think that's all I have. Do you have anything else that you want to add? Some wisdom for the people, or are your dogs around?
Yeah, that's the
Okay. Now we have to talk Skype. This is my favorite thing. Darby, look at the doggy.
Let me see if they're
I
right.
don't think you've ever seen Darby, huh?
Right at my door. Hi, cutie.
Darby. Want to see the doggies?
I don't know if they'll come in.
They're like, no. They're camera shy.
Oh, she's too big.
Oh my goodness! That's little Vienna, right?
Little Vienna.
Little. Oh, she's huge. Look at Darby. He's like, no. No, do you see the puppy?
There's
Look
the
at his tooth.
Here's the other one. You got a guest appearance.
Oh, she's so. Who's that? Is that Java?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty.
He's a boy.
Look at the doggy. My little girl cat's hiding. She won't come out. So. All right. Well, thank you. Bye, puppies. See, we've never met each other's pets. Isn't that funny?
I know. I knew you wanted them in here, so.
What's that?
I knew you made a special request.
Yeah. Yeah. I said we'll get more YouTube hits if we have the animals. All right, cool. Well, thank you everyone. Thank you, Erica, for being here, and I will get this up on YouTube so you can all watch it.
Thank you. Bye.